Alright guys, what's up? And welcome back to the open world game series. So this is the part 7. Um, so first of all, I just want to thank you guys for your continued support on this series. I have just broken 2 milestones and reached 166 subscribers by breaking the 100 subscriber milestone and the 150 subscriber milestone. So you guys just made my day. Thank you. And I will continue uploading these videos. Just give me the suggestions in the comments below. What game features do you want implemented next? So yeah, thank you guys for 166 subscribers and your support. Thank you. So now, so in today's episode, what I'm gonna be doing is that have you ever seen Landscape Auto Material? It's an asset on the Unreal Marketplace. So basically, what it does is like it just automatically places all this foliage and these rocks, these trees, everything. It just places them automatically. So like you just need to have a landscape and it will place them automatically, right? So but look at the cost of this. It's 149.99 US dollars. Who's gonna buy this, right? So this is really expensive. So I want to make this game in a $0 budget. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna create this ourselves, and this will not, believe me, this will not take much time, because I have devised like a full course for this, as I have created this earlier in one of my projects. So yeah, let's start. So we already have a landscape and it's looking gorgeous, so we're gonna make this even more gorgeous. So let's start. So first of all, I'm just gonna create a new folder, name it materials, and then inside of here I'm just gonna create a new material, m underscore landscape, right? So now again, this is my naming convention. M stands for material. You can have your own naming convention if you want. So let's just double click this to open it up, and this can also be your guide to materials. So I'm just gonna while doing this, I'm gonna guide you through like the material editor, so that you basically know what's going on and you can create your own materials. So let's start. So first of all, let's promote the base color to a parameter. And a parameter in the material editor is basically an RGB value. So since this is a material, you have to color stuff with it. It will be an RGB value. So red, green, blue. So this is basically a color because you have hooked up the base color to this, right? So it will automatically determine it and set it to the respective parameter. So you can just choose the color you want by double clicking on this. I'm just gonna choose a grassy green, and for some reason this just goes down. I'm gonna increase the saturation. Value is okay. So yeah, we have like a sort of grassy green. So yeah, but this is not the only layer we need. Sure, this is gonna be like the layer which will paint the landscape automatically. But for example, say we need to erase grass or like put a road in the middle of it, so then we can have some separate layers. So I'm just gonna name this L1, and control C, control V, control V. So I'm just gonna duplicate this and then respectively name these layers in the naming convention that I've used above. So L3, not L3 slash, but L3. Right. So let me change these color values. So I'm, for this I'll have like brown, as in like mud. I don't know. Yep, that's fine. And for this, I'm maybe gonna have like a gray. I don't know. This gray looks good enough. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have gray, which can represent the rocks. So we are only having these colors for testing purposes, so we will switch them out for textures later. I'm just gonna break the link to this because we want all three of these colors to be in this material, not just one. Right, so we're gonna just space them out a bit. Then what we're gonna do is create a layer blend. So landscape layer blend, that's what we need, and this will like take in the inputs of these and then like output these into the base color. So let's add three array elements. An array is basically like a variable which stores multiple values at the same time. So it is another variable type. So I'm just gonna name all these to L1, L2, L3 respectively. So L3 there. And I'm just gonna set the preview weight to 1 on L1 because so that in this material preview we can only see L1. So let's just hook these up based on the name there, and then now if you see, you can like break material attributes. So you already have all these base color, metallic and specular, all of this, right? So you will have to connect them one by one, and yeah, so basically this will take a lot of time and I don't want that taking time. So what I'm just gonna do is delete this, and in this I'll just select this, right, and then I'll say use material attributes. Now I can just hook this up to this and it will be fine, absolutely. So now we have an error. So let's see, cannot connect a known material attribute node to a material attribute pin. So basically what this is saying that these are colors, we can't hook them up. So we will need a function that actually converts these into inputs. So let's create that. So I'm just gonna go, and then in materials and textures I'm gonna create a material function, name it mf underscore landscape. Again mf stands for material function, and then we're gonna add a vector parameter to this. Let's say so I'm just gonna name this color. Actually, instead of the vector parameter, let me use a vector. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a vector 3. Okay, it's actually the same as vector parameter because it has 3 values. Okay, that's cool. So I'll just set this to color, and this will be like our input. So I can just like track this material landscape, or actually let's just bring it. So material function, and then we'll just call this. We also need to have an input, yeah. So I'm just gonna delete this and function input. Yeah, so I'll need a vector function input so that I can input the stuff into that there. So instead of in, I'm just gonna write color there. So now if I actually hook this up to this, I'll just disconnect all of this. Now I'll just hook this up to this, control C, control V, control V, just hook this up. I have not saved the changes yet, so I'm just gonna save, and there we go, it's saying color. So now if I actually L1, L2, L3, and I'm just gonna like straighten this out a little. so that it looks a little better. This. So now if we apply and then it still has this error, can't connect a non-material attribute, a material attribute when. So yeah, I just forgot one thing. So what you need to do is material attribute. We need to make a material attribute out of this, then plug this in and then apply. So this is like basically the conversion of the input into a material attribute, and then now we can apply this, right? um, so it is applying changes. Just save that, and it is again gonna take some time. Okay, so now we can close this down and select the landscape and details. Let's go in landscape material and we just select m underscore landscape here. I don't know what's going with the what's going on with the caps lock, but okay. So now what is happening is that this has turned into checkers again, right? So this is like basically compiling. So if we like go into the landscape and go into like paint, so you can see that we have all of these layers, right? Also guys, one more thing. um to like prevent, like if we want to change a color, then it will need to do all of this stuff and recompile, and this will cause a problem if this material gets bigger, because it will in the future, and then it is gonna create a problem. So I'm just gonna create a material instance out of this, and mi underscore landscape there, and instead of this I'm just gonna put this in. Yeah, now it's better. So we have this, right? And yeah, so it is like basically still this layer has no assigned info. Yep. So what this is telling us is that if we just go on to this layer info and we have to create this weight blended layer, so it will save in an automatically created folder called open world underscore shared assets. So you have to create this for all three of these, and then Unreal will freeze for a while. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna create all this stuff, and as you can see that this landscape is just painted an awesome green color, looks very good. So now if you want, then you can just choose this L2 and then take this paint and then paint it. Now if you paint it for the first time, it will like throw on the checker style to compile, but then after some time, I don't know, actually it is taking a lot of time. Yeah, there. So now I can just paint it all over wherever I want, and same for the gray. Now if I just paint this, it will take some time to compile. So this on green looks like blood for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. So now our gray has compiled and we can paint gray all over. So that's kind of cool. So you can do all of this stuff if you want. And you can paint this landscape however you want. You can change the brush size to be ginormous, and then you can just do this. So yeah, and if you press play, the landscape will look just like this. So now you can run around in this landscape, have your awesome time in this joyfully colored world. So we have set up our layers, it is not doing the automatic painting process. So we are going to define that in the next video, and also be switching out these colors for actual textures. And good news guys, I will be sharing these textures inside of that open world game folder, the assets folder. So please be sure to download that. The link has been given in the description, so you can download that, and it will give you all the assets that I'm using to create this. So yeah guys, and thanks for watching. Peace out.